It's actually the first time that I've been with like a domestic dick. I've always traveled international.
Welcome to the bonus content with Sonal. We were talking in the episode about relationships, and I have one question. I believe we can keep talking of that. I, I mean, the question was if she believed that this like intense love that you have when you're a teenager, that you're like, I'll do whatever for her. If we can find that when we're older, I believe
Yes,
you can. No, I believe you can
but it's
find.
not the same. I
I
mean, it
believe you can find
grows, right?
something similar, but it's not the same. Like when you love as a teenager, there's like something basically burning inside of you.
Yeah.
I don't believe like you can find that again. At least no easily. Like do you know what has happened to me here, and I do not like it, but I believe it's how it is at least for now. I dated like two girls, and I the date was amazing, and then at the end we kissed, and I didn't feel excited for the kiss.
Yeah.
It was like some part of me felt it was like a transaction during
Yeah,
a
I mean
part of
that's
it.
also related to the you don't get to pick who you like
Yeah,
topic, right? Because I went on a date with a very good friend of mine. He's this Persian guy in India, and he's like wealthy. Hello, I'm like, oh, you want to go on a date with me? You're loaded, and he's
nice.
hot, and we had the best time. We had one of the best dates, honestly. Where just the vibe was great, the banter was great, the conversation just kept flowing, and then we went to kiss, and oh my god, it was like so awkward, like that feeling of just a staged kiss.
Yeah, no,
Like, okay, action. And both of us were kind of laughing, and I was like, it's like kissing my brother.
but and you did not feel like because I do remember when like I was a teenager and you get to the first kiss is important.
Oh, yeah.
And
I've
the
been on,
first kiss,
I've,
there's like a magic to it, and I had one relationship here that the first kiss was like, I mean,
magic.
yeah, and I haven't felt that after that. Like it's like the first kiss felt like a transaction. It's not good.
But again, it's like you can't compare past experiences to the present moment. You can kind of inform yourself that those experiences are possible, but it's almost like trying to recreate experiences from your
Yeah,
past can take away from the present
from the
moment.
present.
You know what I mean? Because I've had that recently where I had a kiss that was like, and it was also like, okay, can we kiss? I'm like, no, not yet, because the restaurant was closing, and I'm like,
Okay.
I don't, oh my god, I don't want to keep these people here. If you've
Because
ever
we're
worked,
kissing.
if you've ever worked in the service industry, that's literally worse than leaving a bad tip. Just keeping people. When you're
Yeah.
the last table in there, and if somebody comes to be like, "No, you guys are chill," they're really being like, "Get the fuck out," but they don't want to say that. They're
Yeah,
saying it
they
politely.
cannot say that.
So then there was this added tension of like, okay, we want to kiss each other, and then we were in the car, and it was just like, and then when we were just breathing into each other's mouths, and it was like you don't get to pick smells that you like,
Yeah.
and the smells were really like I can just breathe
And
into
you were
this
in a
person's mouth.
restaurant. What did you eat in the restaurant?
We were eating like fucking $22 lobster tacos. I'm like, what are we doing?
I mean,
in this
like
bougie
amazing,
bullshit.
amazing, but it's not the best smell.
But the
for a
smell
kiss
I
then.
meant like his smells, like the smell of like his face,
Face.
and the smell of like his neck, because I've also been attracted to people, but then I get close and then I don't like how they smell.
Yeah,
And
that
then
happens.
it's like, and that's totally happened to me actually with
And the
somebody
other
else
way
that I was
around.
dating.
I have to like turn my back, like my head, because one girl passes that I didn't even notice that like.
And you smell, and you're like,
there was not
whoa, it's
anything.
pheromones.
Yeah, it's not anything about her that like catch my eye, but then she passed and I feel like the wave of the perfume, and I have to turn back. I was
And
like,
your
"She's-"
sperm is like, that's a good
Yeah,
egg.
and now it's so hard. No, I have to like turn.
And you're like, whoa, that's what it sounds like when you get so erect. Because I've had that with people where I feel so, and that's not a conversation that you can have where it's like, I am so attracted to you. I even feel love for you, but you smell bad
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, no, that's a deal
And
breaker.
That's that's a deal breaker. That's
is.
100%. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are in relationships where they've kind of like adjusted, or I read someplace that people I don't know if it's Americans or people in general play relationships like they do poker, where they're like, these are my best cards and I want to hide all
The
the
rest,
shitty
yeah.
aspects of me and the shitty aspects of my hand, instead of like, let's just do
There's this
open face
But th-
sandwiches.
but this is also part of being like more mature. The more mature love shows everything.
yeah.
It's like this is me.
It's a cultural understanding also.
When you're
because
a
I've always
teenager,
been like
you hide a lot.
No, when I was a teenager, I was even on the other side because I think I was protecting myself, where I could just be like, I was that freaky ass kid that was like, oh my God, do you feel that? That's like love. Like, I feel that within myself. And I can thank you for unlocking this in me. And I don't, maybe it was the ecstasy actually, now that I'm.
It was it was the
But it was
pills.
also like just knowing that that kind of feeling is possible is like we hand each other keys, and then we can only know things about ourselves by experiencing ourselves through other
Yeah.
people. And then it would be like, whoa. And I would totally freak guys out. I wasn't really kissing girls yet in high school. That would be like, you're insane and this is a lot and I'm gonna go and never talk to you again. And then I'd be like, okay, well, I fucked it up, but also who cares, because
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm a Leo. I was always like,
I'm a Leo.
if you don't want to step to me, that's your fucking loss.
Maybe this will come out kind of in your birthday. When is your birthday?
August
In
18th.
August. Okay, maybe this
this.
will come out a little before.
A little before.
A
Yeah,
little
yeah.
before.
And
My
and
sister is
perfect.
Leo.
When's her birthday?
July 31st.
Okay, she's a July Leo. They're different. No, I'm kidding.
She's a bit. You're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Whoa.
whoa.
Those July Leos, bitches. No. But and so then later in life, now it is. I think it's really interesting too how the more that you let something exist in your head, you can be like, oh my God, I have the biggest crush on this person. And if you don't ever let that give that crush air to move and breathe, then you can create something in your head that's so much bigger than reality.
You're in love of your image of that person. Instead
Yeah,
of that
the fantasy avatar. And then when you actually spend some time with that person, it can be, so disillusioning and also very grounding to be like, oh, you're not at all who I imagined you to be in my head or how I imagined this to be.
I cannot remember when was the last time that I felt the other way around. That is like you think someone is like whatever, and then you actually like kind of fall in love with them because it's like I didn't know you were like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you just have to stay open to the possibility of creating presence with people, because even now later in dating, I mean, I'm 40 now and it's crazy. Going out with people my age, it's like I was kissing this one guy and he stops and he's like, sorry, I was just thinking about my ex. Oh, she broke my heart. I was in love with her. And I'm like, how long were you guys together? And he's like, 3 months. 3 months. 3 months. 3 months. How did you know him? Is this guy?
It was me.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now, dog? Like, get it together. Do not bring that into the present moment with someone. It's so disrespectful to bring some past bullshit into the present moment with somebody that you're with. Do that on your own time.
Yes,
Get a
no.
fucking diary.
No.
Go to therapy.
Go
Play
to-
fucking basketball with
Men
your
do
boys.
whatever to not go to therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I saw this. I saw in a podcast. It was a podcast in Spanish, maybe I don't remember because I see bilingual TikToks.
Yeah, no importa.
No importa. But if it is in Spanish, it's better because this is not copyright of that podcast. But the topic was really interesting. The topic was that this girl was newly traumatized because she heard that when men love, but like not like when men like actually love a woman, love like they were in love with that person, they never stop loving that person. They can continue. We just continue our life knowing we love this person.
I think women too. O no tanto.
According to her, she's like, no, you have this like feeling for someone, but after a while, it just like vanish. You just like disappear. But no, man, if men were in love with one person, like this woman, like the when I was 14, I still love her. Like if she comes back into my life, I don't believe I will date her, but I know I have this feeling that I love her. I have one ex that in New York that she's married. But I'm so happy for her because I know like I love her. I love her and I love that she's happy. I'm actually with her. I'm like I'm happy that we broke up because this person that she is with now, I believe he's a better fit for her
Yeah.
than what I was.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that she found this person. Her family just moved, and she's like a super family person. So I'm happy that her family is with her, and I have like these like I yeah I love her, like not anymore in a like a relationship way, but it's like I know there's like women in my life that I will always love. But apparently, according to this podcast, for women it's not like that. And when they know that the person they're with, their man that they're with, love a woman that is not her, they get like this is a new ick or a new like this is like I cannot deal with that.
We're very judgmental and we're very flexible. We can be. I met a friend's girlfriend, and I was like, oh, she's kind of bogus. Her vibe is kind of blah. And then another
Okay.
friend was like, no, she's super dope. That's just her vibe. And I was like, oh, really? And like immediately I felt this shift where I was like, she is dope. I love her.
Okay.
And then it was just like, that's all it took. So there are things that are in my control and there are things that are not in my control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where you can feel like and also you kind of you never know how you are still emotionally and energetically entangled with somebody.
Do as a woman, do you believe you have like one person in your life, an ex that you're like, I love this person, I still love him, I don't want it to go back with him, I don't want to like
I
have
think
a
all of them.
relationship,
I
but
think
I
anyone.
love this person.
I think any of my exes, I feel love
But I-
for it.
but I believe
Even
that's
one
good.
that I'm like, I don't want to talk to him anymore. That's more because of who I was when we were together. That's something that, not that I'm embarrassed, but I'm like, I want to move forward from that, and I don't want to reconnect because I was vulnerable.
But you still
I humiliated myself for this.
but you still love him, like in deep inside
I still love
you,
him.
you think like I still have like a love for this person.
Yeah, and I'm sure if I was around him, I'd be like, we should kiss. Just
Well,
like.
for me with these two, I don't even feel like, but I know it's weird. It's like it's a really different kind of love.
And those kind of subtle, energetic,
She's touching me with
exchanges.
her feet, and I believe we're gonna kiss right now.
Oh my God. That's how the podcast ends. He's like, all right, thanks for being on the pod.
Yeah,
He
the
does
podcast-
this with all of his guests. Luis was like, what the fuck, dude? I have an ex who would always introduce me to his new girlfriends.
Okay.
And it was always so awkward where he'd be like, oh, would you be open to meeting whoever? And I'm like, sure, but I don't think she's open to meeting me. And just because people say something like, yeah, I'm down, does not mean that they're down.
Yeah.
People don't want to, and it would be so awkward. And I think it's a lot of this, where it'd be like, I remember meeting one of his new girlfriends, because I met like 3 of the new girlfriends, Jesus Christ. And immediately I could feel that she was so threatened because the energy between the two of us is so old. We met in 2007, we broke up in we met in 2009. We broke up in like 2014, and it was mainly because he was living in a different place than me, not because we didn't love each other. Of course we loved each other, but it was like, okay, your life is there and my life is here, and now we have to, from a place of very fierce grace, step away from each other.
But would you say it is like women don't like this kind of like a statement that men keep loving the women they love?
Oh, I don't know.
Because they feel threatened, because they feel like you're someone that can take him out. Like
I think generally we're all under the spell of a scarcity mentality, and we're all under the spell of feeling uncomfortable is bad, instead of, even to feel something that you don't like can be really good information on the journey of knowing self. And to be like, oh wow, I'm like giving my power away to something, and I want to reclaim that power for myself and feel secure in myself and have a conversation.
this just
about
turned
this.
into a girls talk. Like, the bonus content is like we're gonna read your sign right
Journey
now.
to self.
So Sagittarius, you're gonna have a really.
He was a Sagittarius.
I am a Sagittarius.
When's your birthday?
24th of November.
24th. Okay, he's December 4th. So that's a more directed fire than a Leo fire sign or an Aries fire sign. If you know any Aries in your lives, maybe they're a little bit more childish. Maybe they're a little bit more.
This pattern, you do have a peak And it's like a lot of women like, hey, we're gonna hear this information.
Yeah,
We're gonna hear
you're
this
gonna
part.
hear-
They just skip to this part, like.
And I mean, and again, with astrology, with any of it, it's whatever resonates with you. It's whatever vibes with you. There's, it's to call a science versus pseudoscience. It's all fucking pseudoscience, baby. We're making all this shit up as we go along, and they're just patterns, and we can recognize patterns, and if that's useful to you. And on the topic of do women like it or not, I mean, I was always really confused, even by jealousy, really early on, when I was in middle school and I have two girlfriends and they're fighting over some dumbass dude. I'm like, that guy's a dumbass. You guys are both hot and you should kiss each other.
You just grabbed them like Barbies. We should all kiss.
And everyone should kiss.
We three should kiss.
And everybody. And there was one ex-girlfriend, or I guess she was also an ex-girlfriend of this guy that I'm talking about, who we were able to bond and kind of like heal stuff within our relationship, in our relationship, and to him, because that's something that only she has experienced and only I've experienced. So we could talk shit about him in a way, but that takes practice getting to that place. You have to get over the discomfort, and you have to get over the fact that you feel threatened and be like, threatened by what? I'm not even with him anymore.
And you don't want to.
I
That's
don't
the
want
point.
to. Yeah.
Like, again, if I see one of these two again, actually, like the New York one, I visited New York like 2 years ago, something like that, and I saw her, but it was like in a really friendly, like environment,
and non-threatening to her partner, her current partner.
Actually, her partner couldn't like go to the meeting, and I was sad because I really wanted to meet him. Like, I don't feel any like sexual attraction to her. It's just like I love her.
Yeah.
I love her as a person. I'm really happy for her and for what she has achieved. I believe it's the same with the other one, that I still see her picture, and there's something in me that activates like, oh, I love this person. I don't feel like I would like to go on dates with her, but I feel some women, like if I had tell a new girlfriend, it's like, oh yeah, this woman, I love her, they will be like, what the fuck do you mean?
Right. Yeah.
So that's something that you keep to yourself. But
which
women,
again
that
is on the
happens.
topic of, and to be in transparency with somebody is really hard, because you have your expectations of like, I'm just sharing something that feels vulnerable to me, and I feel like, is good for us to talk about vulnerable things, and maybe that's going to backfire in your face. And people are like, wait, are you like planning infidelity right now?
Yeah.
And you're like, what? No,
I'm just sharing this.
I'm just excited to love.
Yeah, like I believe with men, this is all over the internet, but men don't show more vulnerability because like that vulnerability at some moment they're like have been like weaponized against them. What are you doing? Don't is your ex?
Es el güerito.
Es el güerito.
Es el güerito.
Ah, me cayó bien, eh.
Ah, pues qué bien.
Cayó muy
That
bien.
that's so interesting, is it, that you like this young man that I'm
He was
hanging out
nice.
with,
He was super nice.
because you don't know people. You only know people in relation to yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it's really important for me to see people out with
No,
other people
He has like a nice vibe.
and see what they're like,
Yeah.
because he's already embarrassed me 2 times where he
Two
was
times.
like, this guy was moving in this car and we were waiting for his ride, and he's like, are you gonna go? Okay, well, like, can you move? And I was like, oh my God.
Don't
I'm like,
say that.
don't say that ever to somebody in Chicago. People have guns in Chicago, okay? And also, like, you could say the exact same thing, like, okay, so, like, are you good to move? Like, you could say it, like,
Yeah,
kind of
like-
slutty, and just, like, be cute, be charming.
Yeah, but not aggressive.
And then even me saying that, he was like, wow, I feel like you're, like, really coming at me right now. And I'm like, no, I'm just sharing how I feel.
But I knew him, and you were kissing him at the moment, so
you took that picture.
I don't. I possibly got like a happy moment of him. So
Yeah, nice.
a
No, and
happy
then,
erotic
you know,
moment.
and that's the thing, not to put him on blast or anything, but he's an American.
We're gonna tag him.
And it's actually the first time that I've been with like a domestic dick. I've always traveled international. I've always flown
It is a nice domestic dick.
international. It's I'm flying
Okay,
Southwest,
okay.
and it's really comfortable.
There's room for your legs.
Yeah, I got a good seat. And great view, and it's really funny because for sure I feel this is universal to the human experience, but very much in America, we're so conditioned to be like, these are the feelings that I like, and I put all my energy into the good feelings.
Okay.
And anything that makes me uncomfortable or anything that's like, oh, this is unpleasant to me, I'm like, great, that's where the work is. That's, if you're uncomfortable, you're learning, you know?
Yeah. No, I believe, at least me, is the same. It's like if we are going through bad moments, this is the moments to learn.
Yeah.
This is the moment to be like, okay, these are our boundaries, and as like quicker as we learn our boundaries, the more connected we will be, because it's like I know what it is makes you angry. I know like how to behave around you. But if we keep going on the good feeling and never touch that, whenever we do it,
That's not sustainable even.
yeah,
Because
whenever
now
we
I'm-
do it, it's gonna be a fight.
And every time it's like I'm working now to protect this idea of you instead of being present with who you
Yeah.
actually are. And I had a teacher in like singing or fire dancing or who knows, and he said this thing, and it was I was so impacted, because we think about the comfort zone, and then we think about the growth zone.
Yeah.
We think about the panic zone, right? But
Yeah.
he was like, the thing is, our comfort zone has become so tiny. So we're not even trying
Yeah,
to
no,
go
that's-
into the growth zone. We're actually trying to
The
restore
honeymoon phase. It's
our-
the honeymoon
Well,
phase.
I'm talking about like learning. So like if I'm teaching you how to cold plunge, for example, and like we're going into cold water. There's the idea of like jumping in and going beyond your growth zone and into and you
Yeah.
don't want to get to panic, but also there's the fact that your comfort zone is like 70 to 75 degrees. Like actually you can be comfortable in 50 degrees up to 100 degrees.
You just
So
gotta
actually
learn how to do
You have
it.
to learn to breathe and be present and be like, okay, I'm panicking. Why? Okay, I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
fine, and breathe. So the idea of just making our comfort zone bigger, I think I'm very inspired by.
Yeah, but here, like I believe here in United States,
People are such little bitches.
and they try to like
convince you that you're uncomfortable all
and,
the time.
and they elongate the honeymoon phase.
Oh yeah.
They just
Instead
want
of
to-
like, let's
to-
get to work.
Yeah, it's like I love the honeymoon phase, but if we have a fight, there's a moment to learn.
And not be like, you're doing this to me.
Yeah,
It's like, no,
yeah,
we are doing
Exactly.
this.
It's like, I'm so sorry I made you feel this way, but they don't want to work on that. They're like, okay, we fight, let's not talk for 2 days, and then I miss you, and we keep going. It's like, no, we gotta
No, right now.
we gotta solve
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But this was this is
This
like,
is good bonus content.
Yeah, relationships.
I'm gonna come back. I'm decided. I'm
You're-
gonna invite
you're
myself back.
You're gonna invite yourself just to keep talking about
The
this
food
shit.
is good.
The food was good. The food was
I'm
good.
gonna sabotage his fridge, so he
We-
has to cook.
Yeah, we talk about eating asses. We talk about relationship. We talk about past relationship. About Indian love. It was amazing.
Putting the toilet seat down.
Put the toilet seat down, or she will stab you in the dick. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you for listening. Bye.